I sat with the mayor of Riverside yesterday afternoon in his office for the first time ever. 32 years in Riverside, and to the best of my recollection, I've never been inside City Hall. It was in the 90s. There was a shooting in the council chambers. A friend of mine sat on the city council back then and she was shot. I got a call to come to the emergency room, so I didn't go to City Hall. I went directly to the emergency room. And I sat with Laura during that time. And that's about as close as I've ever come to City Hall. I've never had much of a taste for networking and all that kind of stuff. It's made me probably a much weaker pastor and a much weaker leader. It's all that stuff that seems fake to me. Just hasn't come easily to me. So I often haven't done it. I believed in my friends. I believed in community. I believed who's God drawn together, and I've just put myself in God's hands and their hands and God's heart and their hearts and trusted that without going out there and trying to negotiate a lot of what always seemed to me phony relationships. But yesterday as I sat in there, the head of the homeless initiative for Riverside, Mayor Bailey, and then Pastor Brian Park had brought me in, and then Cheryl, whose last name I don't remember right now, who also helps lead this homeless initiative. There are about 1,000 homeless on any given night here in Riverside, and them wanting to draw me in to part of what they're doing. And I've been getting letters from it. I've been getting invitations to meetings, and I've shined them all on, so I haven't been polite. So I had to apologize from the beginning. And I've known the mayor. He's come to our church, and he's a nice guy. I'd say we're on a first-name basis, so yeah, no worries there. But and I realized afterwards I should have done my vlog from there yesterday evening. That would have been fun. Because he has such a passion for what he's doing. I was really encompassed by the passion he had in each of them in the room. I mean, I told Brian afterwards, I said I felt like I was being pushed on to buy an agenda that I already believe in. I mean, I've been working with the homeless for over 30 years. But they, why do you have to do it in Los Angeles? Why can't you come to Riverside and do it here in Riverside? And we have a specific proposal we're working on, and my friend Joss has got something going on that. So we're tied into it. But as I listened to them talk, and they could really talk. I thought I could talk. They could really talk. I was having to really force myself just to listen. And I thought about that old line about how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Because really, it's a huge task that they're taking on. And they've got this big vision of how they're going to do it. And some of it I just so agree with. In fact, it's the way I've run my ministries across the years, the funny part. But there's some of it at this point in my life when I see the broader community dysfunction that I think, oh no, this other stuff has to be addressed. And I know it has to be addressed because I haven't been addressing it. I've been ignoring it. I know it from experience. But leaving there, a funny image came to my head. When we were kids, we were all out in front of the house on Stern Street, and someone asked, if Santa Claus really could go down a chimney. And my brother Tim decided to share with all the neighborhood kids that, oh yeah, Santa Claus would fit down a chimney. My brother Tim climbed up the chimney that my dad had built for our new fireplace, put his feet in it, and he proceeded to slide right down into his armpits and was stuck in that chimney. It was a hilarious scenario, except that it was so frightening. And all of us kids didn't want to get any adults, because if we got an adult, well, we would get in serious trouble. First of all, for being on the roof, for Tim being in the chimney, for all of that. And we just didn't know what to do. And just like in the movies, you know how they always talk about the magic black man coming out in the movies, like in Bagger Vance and all those movies? A black man. Our neighborhood was filled with white people. We didn't have any black men in our neighborhood. A black man came off of Stern Street. I have no idea where he came from. He jumped up onto the roof of our house. I have no idea how he did it so quickly without a ladder. And he reached down into that chimney and he pulled my brother Tim straight out. Now Tim was now just as black as this guy. He brought Tim down off the roof. He looked at him, he said, You stay out of that chimney, young man. And off he went. I have no idea who he was. He was this angel who came into our neighborhood that none of us knew and suddenly was there, and he extracted my brother from his problems and made all things right in an instant. And I think sometimes that's what we're waiting for with the homeless initiatives. We're waiting for someone to come along to reach in and make all things right in an instant, just to pull us out of this mess that we've put ourselves into, where there are tens of thousands of people living on the streets in Southern California. We're right here in our little rural Riverside. There are over 1,000 people on the street every single night, where we're building our very own Skid Row, where the mayor, to his credit, is spending every other night sleeping in a little temporary housing right in the heart of the homeless of Riverside. I've never done that, much less week after week, month after month, just so he can get a feel for what the real problem is. His passion spoke to me, and it made me think, yeah, this is the kind of guy who maybe can reach down into this chimney and pull some of these folks out of their problems. And if I can come alongside him, I want to help out. But I don't want to kid myself. I know there's only one way to eat an elephant. And this problem that we have in America today, well, it's the size of an elephant, bigger. And we'll only do it one bite at a time. But you see, here's the really cool part. I've got an entire plan for a call to hope. I shared it with the mayor last night. I left it with him with my notes on it. I believe that it can work because it calls all of us to a restoration of community. It calls all of us to a seeking out of forgiveness. It calls all of us to saying, together is how we're going to do this, rich and poor. This isn't all about just those people on the street. They're on the street because of an affliction of society that's put them there, not by their own means. And for us to accept that and say we long to be a part, not of their problem, but of their solution. How can we help? And to step up and say, I want to be a part of this call to hope. You see, you weren't created to be stuck in that chimney for the rest of your life. It's an awful place to be, asked my brother Tim. You were created to step away from that mediocrity and be the miracle. And don't you want to live a miraculous life? It's the life that God created you for. It's what I want to do today. You're going to be hearing about this in the days to come. I'm excited about what's going to be happening. I don't even know what's going to be happening. I don't even know how I can be helping this. But I believe that something good can come from this. And I believe that you can be a part of it. If you want to be a part of a call to hope that can reach all the way across our nation, around the world, I invite you to share this, to like this, and then to be a part of contacting me and saying, Eric, let's do this together. Democrats and Republicans and independents, Christians and Buddhists and Hindus and Islam and atheists, all of us, because we all have a heart, and Jews, we all have a heart to see healing take place. We want to see hope restored. This is your invitation to a call to hope if you want to be a miracle with your life. Or you can go back to a life of mediocrity. Your call. Let's be the miracle. Have an absolutely amazing day.